so I have a lot of respect for Chris Walker. I like the way he talks about things. Not all of it applies to the work I'm doing because I'm freemium SaaS and they specialize in like later, bigger deals and stuff. But some of the principles carry over a lot. So one thing he always tends to talk about is splitting out the funnel, and it's a simple exercise. So I wanted to walk through how I did it. So he's explained it millions of times. You can go back and look at his content. I encourage you to do so. But let me explain how I did it. And it gets pretty granular, actually. And but it's a simple exercise. All right. So basically, you just need to. For context, I've been using Salesforce for CRM. That's been pretty much all my experience. I've used several marketing automation tools. Right now, we're using something we just push a lot of data over to Salesforce using like webhooks and stuff, and Zaps and through Zapier and whatever. So, but any CRM you should be able to do this. So. Number one, I wanted to make sure, so when I split out the funnel, I made sure all of our key form submissions were logged as activities on the contact record within the CRM, within Salesforce. So, my neighbor just almost backed into a dumpster, but he's okay. So, what does that look like? Contact comes to the site. Key forms for us right now are, we have like 3 sales raise hand ones: demo requests, quote requests, and just like contact sales. It's like different places in the site. So when they submit that form, goes through some automation, finds the contact record in Salesforce, and creates a completed task and activity on that contact record with the form submission information. It just logs that they did that. Okay. So now it's with that contact forever. We, within the CRM, have our sales team build opportunities off of contact records. I think that's what makes the most sense. So what happens is then, so step 2 is when I've built it within Salesforce so that when a couple of things happen. When they create the opportunity off the contact record, that contact is automatically added as a contact role on the opportunity. I can't remember if that was out of the box or I had to do something for it, but I made sure it happens either way. So there are contact role on the opportunity. And then at the same time, this is actually a little bit separate, but I make sure that whatever like the most recent lead source and the original lead source of that contact record fill in on equivalent fields on the opportunity. Okay, so now what I've got is I've got a relationship between opportunity, contact on that opportunity, and activity. And with those 3, I can now build reports that help me look at pipelines sourced by those, right? So what I'm looking at are, I pull the total, so the top of, when you split it out, the top of the funnel would, I guess, actually be the page visits of the pages that form is on. So that's number 1. You get that from Google Analytics or whatever you're using. And then underneath that, you get the total number of form submissions from each different form within a quarter. So total form submits. Since I'm logging those as activities in Salesforce, I actually just do it in Salesforce, but you could do it in your automation tool too and get that number. Then I'm looking at opportunities created where the contact completed that activity at any point prior. So opportunities created from contacts who completed the form submission. Okay, that's the next level. And under that, I'm looking at qualified opportunities from contacts that completed that activity. And then you look at closed won. So the qualified and created, it's created within that quarter. So the opportunity was created. The qualification happens really quickly. So it's opportunities created and qualified within that same quarter based on anybody that completed that activity prior. and that activity, by the way, did not have to happen in the quarter. And then I look for how many opportunities from contacts that completed that activity were closed won in the quarter. Not created and closed won, but just closed won in the quarter. Okay? Bam. There's your funnel. Page visits, form submissions, opportunities generated, qualified, won. However you do your sales funnel in the middle, you figure it out, whatever. But that's the basic flow. I can now see which forms lead to, with that data, you now can see which forms lead to the most opportunities, which ones lead to the largest opportunities, which ones have the fastest sales cycles, and which ones convert at higher rates. And there's step conversion and there's aggregate conversion, right? So, and all of a sudden you now have a breadth of information that really informs you on places to focus and how to drive people and where to look deeper on what gets them there, right? So that's the exercise of splitting out the funnel. And to start, you should just do it in a spreadsheet. I wouldn't worry about tech. Just pull the reports, get the numbers, run it for a quarter's worth, 2 quarters, previous quarter and current. See where you're at, and because most likely the data is already in there, and yeah, so that's how I split out the funnel.